Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Shit Badger Didn't Get to Say. Rah! Anyway, the last two episodes, I really don't have much to talk about here because I pretty much got to say what I wanted to say and get it across without feeling like I had to say more. We talked about the inverted flag. As you guys can tell from my profile picture, I do fly my flag inverted. I fly my home flag inverted when I do have it up. When I do have one, actually my last flag got damaged, so I need to get a new one. There are problems and issues in this country that make me feel that we as citizens, as Americans, are in distress, and our country is in distress. You look at a $20 trillion debt, terrorist attacks on our soil, collapsing healthcare, collapsing infrastructure, sending our men and women to fight wars overseas where we shouldn't be. All these things and many more problems. Racial issues that are tearing us apart. Police are out of control. Good police being blamed for the actions of bad police. Everything else. We're falling apart as a country. We are in distress. Is it the absolute correct application for an individual citizen to hang their flag upside down? Probably not. But we have the right to do it as Americans. It's covered by free speech. We have absolutely every right to do this. And anybody who attacks us for that, saying we're communists, we're not American, we're not patriots, they're full of shit. A patriot loves his country, recognizes there's something wrong with it, and wants to fix it. And that's what I think all of us inverted flag wavers are trying to do. So that being said, let's go on to our second topic. Textbooks, facts, history. There's a quote once that the victors write the history books. And that's absolutely true. I started to get a little off topic with Nazi concentration camps, and then Nick also talked about the moon landing and whatnot. What I was getting at with the Nazi concentration camps, there is a lot more. I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this, so send it to me, not to Nick, not to Dee, not to Fern. Send it to me, the Badger. There's a lot more evidence and proof coming out that yes, the Nazis under Hitler rounded up Jews. They rounded up a lot of people. They rounded up subversives. They rounded up hippies. They rounded up gays. The proof, or the evidence that's coming out, is that they didn't just take these people, gas, and then burn them. They used them for slave labor. They used them to build bombs, airplanes, make uniforms. There's a lot of information coming out about Auschwitz and how it actually was. There's evidence coming out that prisoners who had better jobs and administration of most jobs actually had a soccer team and played against the guards. They had a swimming pool. This is all on the internet. You can find this information. You can Google it. There's images out there. There's pictures. There are Holocaust survivors who have come out to support this information, that the people who were being burned were dead already. Typhus was running rampant through Europe during World War II. People were starving to death, dying, malnourished. Disease was everywhere. The gas chambers were used to clean, to get the lice, the body lice, and fleas and head lice off of the clothing, and to make the camps less toxic for human beings to live there. Body lice were running rampant, causing the typhus. It was a horrible situation for everybody. Yes, these people were rounded up and used as slave labor. That was wrong. They were innocent civilians. But there's a lot of proof coming out that the camps were not death camps. And this propaganda, this true history, these facts came from Russia. The Russians were the first to find the concentration camps. They were the first to put out the propaganda of what the camps were. Look it up, guys. There's a lot of information out there. And then we, Americans and other countries, took off with it. We took the propaganda as fact. put it in our textbooks, put it in our newspapers, put it all over the place of what the Germans and Nazis were doing, and it became fact. If you keep repeating a lie enough over and over and over, it becomes believable. It can become a fact. So, what are facts? Are facts what we read in the textbook? Or is it something we see with our own eyes? Is it something that we investigate on our own? Now we don't have to go to a library or a newspaper publication and go through microfiche or go through old books from the 40s or even prior to that, any type of history, and try to find information. We can find it's at our fingertips. Our fingertips, right here, keyboard, tap, 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 tap. We can go on many sites and find this information and evaluate it for ourselves. And the moon landing was brought up. I'm a believer that we didn't go. Or if we did go, we might have been told not to go anymore. By who? I don't know. But it just seems funny to me that there's this big race to beat Russia, and both sides are putting out propaganda, and now we're being told by NASA that we can't even get an unmanned lander back to the moon by 2025. So if we were able to do it back in the 60s with the computing power of a wristwatch calculator, why can't we do it now? These are things that we have to question. Whether we believe them as fact or fiction, we need to question. We need to question everything that's presented to us. We need to question if there's 57 states. The best way to do it would be to travel. Get out of your house, get off your couch, get off your Xbox, get off your iPhone, go out and travel. See every 57 states. Go to 57 states, because that's what O'Barry says we have. That's what I believe we have. 57, not 50, 57. Our president has said it. But all joking aside, go to all 50 states. Get out there, investigate, explore. Go to every Capitol building in all 50 states, and then go to Washington, D.C. to make sure it exists, since it's not a state. And if you're really rich and lucky, go to our territories. It'll be something to do. You'll learn something. You will absolutely learn something. You might learn a new fact that you might have never known before. And lastly, Australia. I have quite a few Australian friends. I go to news feeds all over the place, and I see a lot of Australian news. Australians are sick of political correctness. They're sick of their government taking their rights away, taking their guns, allowing open borders, taking in Muslims. The people are tired of it. And who are we? Who are we to judge or tell them what to do? We are Americans. We need to worry about America. America first. If Australia wants to ban Muslims, if Australia wants to close their borders, if Australia wants their gun rights back and get rid of the political correct bullshit, so be it. I support my Oz friends. I support them completely. It's not up to us to tell them, though, or go to their country and tell them what to do. Yes, we can have our opinions here on our soil, talking about amongst ourselves or on a show like this, but we don't have a right to go to petition or go publicly down there and cause, problems and saying, hey, you need to govern. We shouldn't be doing that in any country. We shouldn't be forcing democracy on any country. If they're happy with their dictator, so be it. If they're happy with their parliament or their whatever form of government they have, let them be. It's up to them. If they're happy with communism, it is not up to us to go there and stop that. We've tried it. The Korean War, Vietnam War. We've tried to force democracy down our throats. We've tried it in Iraq this time around, and it has not worked. It will not work. America and its values are her own. It is not the world's, and we have no right whatsoever to force our values on other countries. We need to accept them as they are, work with them if we can, and that's it. And speaking of that's it, that's all I have this week. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm Dwayne the Badger. This is shit I didn't get to say.